Past with Angela Buble.
Hello everybody, welcome to this very special episode of Backstage Pass. I'm coming to you all the way from the very beautiful and very chilly city of Vancouver, Canada. My next guest grew up and was raised here and paid his dues performing in bars and clubs all over the city. Now times were tough at first, but he hung on to the dream of singing his classic songs to contemporary audiences all over the world. And 11 million album sales later, that dream is now a big-time reality. So, without any further delay, let's go backstage with Michael Bublé. Okay, he's suave, he's sassy, and he's got the world on a string.
I've got the world on a string.
Coming up on today's show, it's all the straight-talking charm of Grammy-winning superstar Michael Bublé.
I'm honest, and my honesty will get me in so much trouble in my lifetime. And you people can watch me at home. I'm not a jerk. My mom raised me to be a nice, loving boy, but I say how I feel, and I feel the way I say it.
Speaking of saying what you feel...
Whatever that is that you just said, I don't like that. Yeah, it sucks.
I'm getting a bit nervous in here myself, actually.
Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day.
And if you think that's intense, just get him on the subject of his critics.
By the way, yeah, when a critic writes that they hate me or my stuff, I want to beat them up.
Or somebody else may tell me, whisper the words just right.
Find out all about Michael's relationship with the Devil Wears Prada star, Emily Blunt.
She's got huge talent.
And how does Michael really feel about his girlfriend spending all that time on film sets with the world's best-looking movie stars? How do you feel about, you know, watching her do that with Brad Pitt one day? I just...
Why, what have you heard? I'll kick the crap out of that guy.
Stick around, folks. This is your chance to get up close with Michael Bublé's latest album, Call Me Irresponsible.
You know what? It is a perfect title for me. Totally irresponsible.
Well, how about totally unpredictable?
God, you're a sexy woman, aren't you?
Okay.
Hey, Henry, get me my water! Now, bitch!
What are you doing later?
Call me irresponsible.
We're rolling, right?
Oh, are we fine?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so tell me.
The best is yet to come a day or mine.
Seriously, what is wonderful about your story is that, you know, your record label, after you finally got a deal with going, look, if you sell 50,000 of these, we're going to be really happy.
Yeah.
So
3.4 million later.
Yeah. 11.6.
Yeah, and now, you know, the second and the... So now we're at 11.6.
I like to tell everyone that.
How?
People will seriously say, hey, Michael, how are you? 11.6 million.
This is what I want to know. Does the money just land in your bank account one day? Do you just go,
you know
hell,
what?
I can buy a
Truly,
house?
want to know the truth?
Yeah.
Yes.
If that's what it has.
I had none forever. For the first 3 years, there was zero. And it's not as much as people would think, but it was more than I thought I would have. Yeah. It's not, you know, I'm not making your kind of money, but I make good money.
Just tell you something, you're definitely making my kind of money.
I am?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm doing well. Because, you know, I'll tell you something. Hair like that does not come cheap.
I've got the world on a string. I'm sitting on a rainbow. I got that string around my finger.
As you become more successful, you know, do you get more control over what the next album is going to be like, or do you get less control because everyone's more and more invested in it financially? And...
No, I think you get more control. But at the same time, I think it's important not to try to take too much control. I think you have to... Listen, I work with the people I work with. I hire David Foster and Umberto Katika, and I hire these arrangers and these musicians because they're the greatest, you know, in the world.
You're a falling star. You're the getaway car, you're the line in the sand when I go too far.
We've been listening to this new album.
Yeah.
And Everything is my favourite song so far. I want to talk about that one for a little while.
Everything?
Yeah.
Everything came from... well, I'd written a song. It was based... It's hard. It's really complicated. Basically, Emily, I was really happy and all that stuff, and I wrote the song, and I thought this will be a nice thing, you know, an analogy for what this girl is to me, and you you know, she's everything to me, and that's what love is to me. Love is everything.
Girls must love it when you write songs like that for them.
Yeah.
That must really kind of...
Yeah. But then I co-wrote this one with Axl Rose called I Used to Love Her, But I Had to Kill Her. Not as romantic, but...
She didn't react the same way.
No, it's weird.
You're every line, you're every word, you're everything.
Michael Bublé was determined to continue his journey as a songwriter on his latest album. As well as Everything, he wrote the track Lost about his painful breakup with fiancée Debbie Timmis, a subject Michael speaks candidly about later in the show. But it is the song he says he's most proud of.
Can't believe it's over. I'll watch the whole thing fall.
I keep saying to people, growth without alienation, you know, showing growth and growing myself. I have to, or I'll get stagnant, and at the same time not pulling a 180 and turning off, you know, whatever 12 million people that were good enough to spend the money on the first 2 records. You know, I'm trying to give them what they want and just make it better.
'Cause you are not alone. I'm always there with you, and we'll get lost together.
Like his first 2 records, Call Me Irresponsible was produced by 14-time Grammy-winning producer David Foster. And while artist and producer have an outstanding relationship, they don't always agree on everything.
There's one song on here that they played me and I'd never heard before, and I just said, what are you doing to me? And he said, I'm telling you, man, people are gonna go crazy. And so I listened to it, and it took me listening to it like 50 times before I went, oh, yeah, this could be good. And it's a song called Me and Mrs. Jones.
In fact, Michael ended up digging the song so much, he asked his girlfriend to sing backing vocals. So what are your favourite tracks?
Me and Mrs. Jones, I love That's Life. I did it with a great big... I can't wait for you people to hear this. It's a listening experience, I promise you. We worked our butts off.
Coming up after the break, Michael talks candidly about his romance with the 23-year-old star of The Devil Wears Prada, Emily Blunt.
And the woman stopped Emily and she said, oh my God, she said, I just want to tell you, she said, amazing. Devil Wears Prada, amazing. She said, and congratulations on your Golden Globe. And then she looked over to me and she said, yeah, I know you too.
After 9 years of playing strip clubs, cruise ships and seedy bars, Michael Bublé was about to give away singing altogether when he received a call from the former Canadian Prime Minister, Brian Mulroney.
Now you can dance every dance with the guy who gives you the eye. Let him.
Mulroney invited the singer to perform at his daughter's wedding, which was attended by none other than legendary record producer David Foster, who had made career-making albums for Whitney Houston, Celine Dion and Natalie Cole.
So darling, save the last dance for me.
David Foster helped Michael secure a record contract within 12 months and was at the helm of all his 3 studio albums. I was reading that a statement you made, that basically the music is not for you and it's not for the record executives, it's for the people.
Absolutely.
It's for the fans.
That's what I make records for.
Now, a lot of artists that I speak to and know would really disagree with that premise. A lot of artists think, I make music for me, that's it. And if you like it, you know, I write my songs, if you like it, and great, if you don't, I don't care. Okay, so that's one school of thought.
I don't believe them, but go ahead.
Yes, I have met some artists who I think do believe it, you know.
Yeah, I met some people that pick their nose and sit home all day playing Sega.
Here's my point, though. Do you think that when you're interpreting songs, there's a different responsibility?
No.
No.
I think you tell a story. I think it'd be so easy and such a wonderful lie to tell you that I don't care what you think. You can all go shove it, you bunch of wankers. I'm going to do whatever I want. And you know, it's a lie. What he or she is actually saying to you is, I'm afraid you won't like me, and I don't want to fail, so I'm just going to say I don't give it. It's not true. It's a lie. I'm honest, and my honesty will get me in so much trouble in my lifetime. And you people can watch me at home. I'm not a jerk. My mom raised me to be a nice, loving boy, but I say how I feel, and I feel the way I say. And I don't believe those people. And I think when they say, I don't give a damn what anyone thinks, bull crap, bull poopies.
Shish kebabs. I don't believe it.
Cause don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. Save the last dance for me.
The problem is, of course, is that, you know, you've got the kind of job where people come up and say to you, oh, Michael, you're so unbelievable. I saw you this, da 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 da. It's all incredible. You know, this song, that thing. Okay, and that's the great stuff. And the problem with having a job like that is that you equally have to cope with people going, you suck. Because there's no one that escapes that. And this is what's interesting about it.
I think what's tough for me sometimes is that this genre of music, okay, it's some of it's romantic, okay, and sweet and sentimental, and of course women enjoy that. But I don't make this music for women. You know, I make this music for men. I make it for men, and not for gay men or straight men or weak men or strong men. I make it for guys who, you know, are strong enough and secure enough in themselves that they can actually enjoy it.
I'm feeling good.
Like when I read somebody say like that I'm a mom crooner, you know, I'm not telling you that I'm Muhammad Ali or anything like that, but I come from a working class, tough family. You know, I was a hockey player. In my previous life, I would have tried to beat the hell out of you if you said that to me. Now I might lose, you know, but I hate when they assume because I sing romantic music that I'm a
wet boy.
Whatever that is that you just said. I don't like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, I was just providing the adjective.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And it sucks.
I'm getting a bit nervous sitting here myself, actually.
Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel.
That's the great thing about this genre of music is that I can put out 13 or 12 or whatever it is, excellent songs, and not 2 singles and then a bunch of crap filler. And so at least with the genre I have it, I know that every song can be great.
It's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Coming up after the break.
You know what? If she does it, I don't want to know about it.
Okay.
But I can get revenge first. What are you doing later?
Another summer day has come and gone away from Paris and Rome, but I wanna go home.
That passport photo looks like an album cover. Is that a professional shot?
No, it doesn't.
Now, the last time Michael Bublé and I met up was 2 years ago in Sydney on the release of his second studio album, It's Time. It featured his hit single, Home, a song Michael had written for his then-fiancée, Debbie Timmis, who actually appeared in the video clip.
I've been keeping all the letters that I wrote to you, each one a line or two. I'm fine, baby, how are you?
Since our last meeting, Michael's engagement has been called off. The pressure of his career and constant touring away from home taking too much of a toll.
I lived with a lot of guilt, and at the time Debbie didn't make me feel guilty. She didn't go after me to make me feel terrible. I just did feel bad. I felt terrible. I felt guilty and responsible that I would say, well, I'll see you in 2 months, you know. And yeah, you can come out for tour for a week, but I've got to fly to 6 different countries in how many days, and it's not, you know, it's not a reality that you can sit and come along and I felt terrible. I felt guilty.
And I know just why you could not come along with me. That this was not your dream, but you always believed in me.
How are you feeling about pulling those two worlds together now, a year or 2 years later?
Still tough, still a challenge, but worth it. You know, Emily has. She can understand, and she, you know, when she comes, you know, I've told her many times. I said, if it comes, you know, between you taking a part that's going to be good for your career and you seeing me, then you must make your career the priority for now. And if our love is real, and if, you know, if it's meant to be, then we will, you know, we'll stick together. We'll stick to each other. And it's funny, I spoke to her mother, Emily's mother, about it. And I said, and she said, well, when are you going to get, you know, married and settle down? And I said, listen, I said, I don't want her to look back in 10 years or 12 or 15 years and say, I wonder what I could have done. I wonder how big it could have gotten. I wonder if I could have won an Academy Award. I love her to death. She loves me, and it should work itself out. And we should be able to do our thing, and, you know, like any couple.
Now, for those of you out of the loop, Emily Blunt is the 23-year-old Golden Globe-winning actress who appeared in 2006 widely publicised movie The Devil Wears Prada, opposite Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway.
Well, I don't eat anything, and when I feel like I'm about to faint, I eat a cube of cheese.
Man, she's a little pocket rocket, that girl.
She is a little pocket rocket.
Very talented.
You know,
and then
I love that you use the words pocket rocket.
And the next thing, I'm watching the Golden Globes or something, and I thought, there's bloody Michael Bublé with his mitts all over Emily Blunt.
Well, if you've seen Summer of Love, you'll know why I want my mitts all over her.
Had you seen Summer of Love?
She's got huge, huge talent.
Had you seen that film when you met her? Did you know
she was actually quite angry with me.
Was she?
Because we had sort of started to date, and I called her up and I said, hey, I've seen your Jubblies. And she was like, pardon me? I said, seen the Jubblies? She went, you went on the internet, didn't you? And I went, yes. Who doesn't want to see, well, who doesn't want to see their girlfriend having a little tete-a-tete with another little beautiful girl?
Yeah, it's, well, I don't know how to answer that question.
That's life. I can't deny it.
It's one thing for her to be making out with a girl on camera, that's kind of, but how do you feel about, you know, watching her do that with Brad Pitt one day? I just...
Why, what have you heard? I'll kick the crap out of that guy.
I think it would be so hard to go out with an actor for that reason. Do you spend any time kind of pondering that?
No.
No, probably better.
Yes, of course I spend time pondering that. Yes, of course I do.
But it's just, it's not really that different to what you do, I guess.
Yeah, you know, I get to make love to my fans and get naked in bed with them. Not. I think it's a weird business, and I think, you know, it's understandable why so many actors get together. You know what I mean? You're bonding like that. You're on set together. It's either the director that you shtup or your co-actor. You know what? If she does it, I don't want to know about it.
Okay.
But I can get revenge first. What are you doing later?
Okay, I think it's time for a commercial break.
Hey, Henry! Give me my water!
Don't go away. More coming up after this.
Out of the tree of life, I just picked me a plum.
It helps kind of keep you, you know, grounded through the process, because it's, you know, I'm telling you, it must be hard.
I don't think I am grounded. I don't think anyone who's sitting in this room is grounded. I think all of us have days where we are extremely kind and generous and patient, and then we have days where we're, you know, we make an ass of ourselves. That's what it is to be human.
The best is yet to come the day you're mine.
Because I get to meet a lot of these people that I watch on these interviews, and it makes me cringe when I see someone and they're asked a question and they say, well, it's just a pleasure to be here. And, you know, God has blessed me and allowed me to bring this music to people all over the world. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't thank Him and think about what a lucky person I am. And I know what happens. That camera turns off, and they go,
hey, Henry! Give me my water! Now, bitch!
It's the truth.
And through these crazy times, you make me sing your every line, your every word, your everything.
It's the perfect time for me in this interview to tell you I'm sorry. And I was completely irresponsible in this interview. I talked about fantasies with you and my girlfriend involved, and I said you had split ends, but you don't. You have perfect sheeny hair.
Michael, you are absolutely forgiven.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for on today's show. It's time for me to sign off from Vancouver, Canada. I'm Angela Pulverenti. Thanks for watching Backstage Pass.